Hi everyone, Dee here from Arts with Dipti Lamba. So today I am really excited to share something extraordinary with you. We will be embarking on a special 25-day artistic journey exploring one of the world's most ancient and visually stunning artistic traditions, the Ethiopian Coptic Christian art. For the next month, we will be painting, learning, and connecting with a sacred art form that has survived over 1,600 years. This isn't just an art project, it's a journey through time, faith, and a culture that has preserved its traditions against all odds. Let me show you why this tradition is so captivating. Look at this doorway. This is from one of Ethiopia's ancient monasteries, and every single inch is covered with vibrant murals. What you're seeing here are saints with those distinctive, enormous almond shaped eyes. Eyes that aren't just looking at you, but looking into you. In Ethiopian art, the eyes are portals between the earthly and the divine. They represent the spiritual vision and divine awareness. Notice the rich earth tones, ochres, terracottas, deep reds. These aren't just beautiful colors, they've made from the very soil of Ethiopia, ground minerals, natural pigments that connect the art directly to the land. And here's what makes this so perfect for art journaling. Ethiopian Christian art uses bold, flat colors with heavy black outlines. It's accessible, it's meditative, and it creates stunning visual impact. Next, we'll be discussing illuminated manuscripts. On the left, we have warrior saints on horsebacks, probably depicting the legendary battle between good and evil. Look at the patterns on their clothes, the decorated horses, the way the figures are arranged in perfect symmetry. And on the right, this is from a ceiling fresco showing a celestial scene with angels and saints arranged in circles. See how the composition draws your eyes to the center? That's intentional. It's meant to guide meditation and prayers. Here's what I love about Ethiopian manuscript art. Every single element tells a story. The colors have meaning, the gestures have meaning, even the patterns in the backgrounds have spiritual significance. Over our next 25 days together, we are going to learn this visual language and use it to tell our own stories. Next, we'll be discussing the church mural paintings. This is one of my favorite images. This ancient fresco shows the three wise men on their journey to Bethlehem. Look at how the artist has captured movement and narrative. See the distinctive Ethiopian style, the elongated figures, the rich earth tones, that beautiful weathered quality that speaks to centuries of devotion. What strikes me most is how alive this art feels. These murals have been watching over worshippers for hundreds of years, and they have radiated that same spiritual power. In our December series, we'll be learning techniques like this: how to create a narrative scene, how to build up layers of meaning, how to use pattern and color to create that sense of the sacred. Forest churches and cliff monasteries. Now, let me show you where this art lives. On the left, you're seeing an aerial view of the traditional round church called a takul. These forest churches are nestled in the mountains of Ethiopia, often accessible only by foot, sometimes requiring hours of hiking. And on the right, this is an interior of Abuna Yamata Go, a church built into a cliff face. To reach it, you have to climb a sheer rock wall. Can you imagine the dedication? But look at what awaits you inside. These breathtaking ceiling frescoes showing Christ surrounded by the nine saints. The artists who created these masterpieces worked in near darkness, painting by candlelight, creating beauty in one of the most remote areas on earth. This is what I want us to connect with: this dedication, this devotion to beauty and spirit. We are going to bring that same intentionality to our art journal this month. Sacred crosses and spiritual guardians. Ethiopian Christianity has its own unique visual identity, and nothing represents that more powerfully than the processional crosses. These priests are holding crosses that have been used in ceremonies for centuries. Each cross is handcrafted, each one unique to its region or monastery. Notice how the priests are dressed in traditional white robes with colorful sashes. Those colors represent different ranks and roles within the church. And those crosses they are holding? They're not just symbols, they are believed to hold spiritual power to offer protection. In week 3 of our series, we are going to design our own Ethiopian inspired crosses. We learn the traditional patterns, the symbolic meanings, and how to create that distinctive open work design that makes these crosses so recognizable. Now, let's look at these crosses a little closer. This is an example of an intricate metalwork that Ethiopian craftsmen have perfected over centuries. See how it's built up in layers? The central cross, then geometric extension, then those elaborate terminals that spread out like rays of light. Ethiopian crosses are truly distinctive works of spiritual art. They feature intricate metalwork with geometric patterns that represent cosmic order. They're used in religious ceremonies, priests carry them in procession, use them in blessings. Each region has its own unique design. You can actually tell where a cross comes from by its patterns. And symbolically, they represent the intersection of heaven and earth, the meeting point between the divine and the human. What I want you to do is to imagine creating pages in your journal that capture the same sense of sacred geometry, the same sense of careful craftsmanship, the same spiritual intentionality. Cross design variations. Look at this diversity. On the left, we have a cross with that beautiful lattice work, almost like lace in metal. The amount of patience and skill required to create something like this is extraordinary. In the center, a more traditional form with those characteristic Ethiopian extensions at each terminal. And on the right, this is actually a circular manuscript design, but look how the cross pattern is integrated in it. Everything is connected: the architecture, the manuscript, the metalwork, the murals. It all shares the same visual language. This is what we are going to explore over 25 days. Not just copying these designs, but understanding the visual language so deeply that we can use it to express our own spiritual and creative journeys. So, here's what's happening in December. "25 days of Ethiopian Coptic Christian art starting from today and going all the way through Christmas. Every single day, what you will get are daily art projects that build on each other. Weekly tutorial videos where I'll demonstrate techniques in depth. Oracle reading cards to connect to the spiritual theme with our own personal journey. So we'll be learning a sacred art tradition, creating meaningful, beautiful work in our journals, and connecting with community of fellow artists. And if you're interested, we will talk it out, that would be good. We will start with the basics: color mixing, eye shapes, geometric patterns. By the middle of the month, we'll be creating illuminated letters and decorative borders. And by the end, you'll have completed a personal synthesis project that brings together everything that you have learned along with me. So I would love for you to join me on this journey starting today itself, this Monday, today. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be doing this fresco today in my art journal. And I hope you will join me in making these angels. They're quite easy to draw and they're really beautiful. So let's get to it. I'm going to now move on to my recording section of the painting. So the colors we're going to use for this work are red, blue, gold, green, black, and white. So all these colors have meanings. Red symbolizes divine love, martyrdom, sacrifice. Gold symbolizes divine light, holiness, heaven. Green symbolizes fertility, growth, and abundance. Blue symbolizes, I think, truth, heaven, and the celestial realm. And then white, as you know, is purity. And black is basically for the outlining of the eyes, the hair, basic shapes. So let's get to it. We'll first do a quick border and then we will start working on it. Now, where's my ruler? And there you go, guys. I finished it. Uh, the eyes are very important for the saints and the angels to look into our souls. The eyes have to look directly into our eyes, into our souls. And whenever we pray to them, they will look in and they will say, okay, it's part of your contract. Let's fulfill it. Hopefully. I really enjoyed doing this. It was, again, like all work, a lot of effort, but it's pretty. It's my version of the fresco that I found on the doors of the Orthodox Ethiopian churches. And they're very simple, and anyone can draw them. It's just labor intensive. And they're all, like I showed you in the beginning, they just adorn, these paintings just adorn, these frescoes just adorn the walls and the doors. When you look up, there they are. Tomorrow we will do an angel painting based on Ethiopian Coptic art. It'll be a very basic, simple angel that anyone can draw. That's the goal. So, you can pray and you can do an angel, or you can just sit and make an angel inspired by Ethiopian Coptic church artwork. And we'll go from there. So, until tomorrow, see you. Bye.